Okay, guys. Okay, so this is gonna be a it's gonna be a longer video, but just stick in with me, okay? So we're just gonna talk about the keys to the game for every team to win, and it's gonna be a brief video. Bucks, it's gonna be tough. If Chase Daniel's starting for the Lions, it's gonna be really, it's gonna be a lot easier. Their run stuffing should be a lot easier than it usually is, because if they do that, then their run stopping is gonna be good. They have a really good run defense. So that they shouldn't worry about that. But you got to put pressure on Chase Daniel and probably Matthew Stafford either way. But they have to probably play a little bit more off. Wait, don't play off. Play like a little more press. But you got to safety's got to be really conservative. I don't want to see any safety blitz isn't going to help, because then Matthew Stafford's just going to kill you deep with like Marvin Jones. Yeah, and another thing is the cornerbacks don't really bully the wide receivers on the Lions, because if they do that, they're going to be hopeless. And then offensively, protect Brady, of course. They got to take a couple more deep shots. I'm not saying have Brady throw 50 times, but they got to take a couple more deep shots with their deep threats and Antonio Brown and Mike Evans. Probably Mike Evans more because he's taller and of course he Moss's guys and he's a good jump ball guy. And then of course throw to those tight ends. It's good for that. And then you got to hand the rock to Ronald Jones at least 20 times in the game. If they don't do that, then it's gonna be tough for them to win, because Brady, this system isn't gonna work right if they don't have Brady handing it off, because that's what they did in New England. That's what type of quarterback he is. Lions, it's kind of hopeless for their running game. No offense, like they don't have any good running backs, and maybe they'll be able to wear down that defense. I don't know if they are, and of course Ronald Jones needs to wear down that defense too. And Matthew Stafford's playing, he's got to really just take what the defense gives him. I know he does that a lot. He's a great quarterback. I think he's top 5. That's for another video though. And that could really help them, but I don't know if they're gonna have a chance like doing anything amazing on offense. They're probably just gonna have to be pretty consistent. Maybe a couple trick plays, do something to keep the defense, Bucks defense on their heels for that. And then defensively, put pressure on Brady definitely. But the cornerback, like Desmond Trufant, has to really, really show up if they want to even have a chance of winning. Jeff Okudah, well, he's really struggled, so Justin Coleman has to really do his thing. And then the safeties have to play really good. The safeties are probably gonna have to win the game. Like they're gonna have to have a couple turnovers on Brady if they want to win from the defense, which is what they're gonna have to do. Now Dolphins Raiders. Raiders. I don't know if they're gonna have Derek Carr. Let's just say Derek Carr isn't starting. Mariota's you probably don't want to have to send the house on Mariota, because he's really mobile and he'll get out there and run. You saw that he ran for like 88 yards against the Chargers. So yeah, for that. And then, but of course you want to confuse Mariota, because you get he's a starter, but he's new to this system. Like he's not new. He's been in this system pretty good. He's not a start. I think he's not a starting caliber quarterback. You can probably if you put a good team around him, he'll be decent. But yeah, he's not gonna be amazing. So for that reason, I think they have to really, really make Mariota guess and do that stuff. Their defense, they have to put so much pressure on Tua, which is going to be really tough because they don't have any pass rush. Max Crosby, I think they're going to have to really use. And then, of course, you got to stop the running back game. I think that's going to be, I don't know if that's going to be too hard, but make sure you stop that running game. And Mike Gesicki, you need to put whoever, like Lamarcus Joyner, whoever their number 1 corner is, or whoever their best cover player on the team is, or like Nick Kwiatkowski, put him on Mike Gesicki, because if you do, then Tua's gonna have to do a lot more. And of course, don't let Tua get loose, because then he's gonna do some pretty darn good things. And then on the offense, they probably have to run the ball with like Mohammed, whatever the guy's name is. Ahmed, whatever the guy's name is, so hard to pronounce. Get the ball to Mike Gesicki. It's gonna be hard to if they're gonna really put stuff on there. So they're gonna have to get out, like throw maybe a couple out routes. So it's gonna have to be quick with Mike Gesicki. And then on defense, I don't know if the zero blitz is gonna work like they did against Jared Goff, because Mariota's mobile, but they gotta play defense. Xavier Howard probably has to be really aggressive. Like if he's on Henry Ruggs, he's got to be a little more play off a little. Have a safety, because he's probably the 3rd fastest player in the NFL right now. So that's probably gonna happen. And yeah, that's about it. And of course, Byron Jones, I trust him. If he has a bad game, well, he has a bad game, but still, I trust Byron Jones to do his thing. And then the safeties, well, Eric Rowe's had an amazing season, really, really good season. Bobby McCann, he's played okay, so yeah. And then now let's go on the Colts and Steelers. Steelers offense, they have to run. I don't know their run game is just straight up awful. Because I don't know what to say about their run game. their offensive line has to start like stop being so stop being like the Cowboys or Cowgirls right now. Stop being so soft. If they start to get gritty and really bully the Colts, DeForest Buckner, which isn't gonna happen. But DeForest Buckner, like they probably have to double DeForest Buckner. And then Justin Houston, pull Villanueva on him, and Villanueva really has to have his game on his game because if he doesn't, it gets me a long night for the Steelers online. And then of course James Conner or whoever's in the backfield, they have to literally just play their hearts out and just run through the D line of the Colts and Darius Leonard and Anthony Walker and Bobby Okereke. I'm ranting right now, but that's the truth. They have to do that if they want to be successful. And of course, they're gonna get the chance to throw it. I can say that, but they can't have Big Ben who's like 80 throwing the ball 90 times a game. On defense, well, just keep doing what you're doing because Phillip Rivers can't really do much back there. He's not good. He's not mobile. So basically, you can just blitz him and he won't be able to get out to the pocket and make anything. He's gonna have to throw it quick. So basically, cornerbacks play press and really make it hard for those receivers to get open. Minka Fitzpatrick, their superstar safety, maybe a Pro Bowler. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna go check that actually. Let's see. Okay, let's just get this over with. I just want to see if he made it. Oh wait, so he did make the Pro Bowl. Okay, so Pro Bowl safety Minka Fitzpatrick probably has to be a little more of a ball hawk. I think he can probably pick off Rivers a couple times, and of course Jonathan Taylor will be on his game, and of course watching He Mines out of the backfield. Jonathan Taylor, if you don't slow him down, he's gonna run through you. Even though he's a rookie back, I've seen him play. He is very good, and I have him on my fantasy team, so I'm probably gonna have to root for the Colts. Just saying. Chiefs, Falcons on offense. What are they gonna have to do? It's kind of tough because the Chiefs' run defense has gotten a lot better because Chris Jones has played amazing in the middle. I don't know. He's played really well. Even he hasn't had like the greatest numbers, but he still played really well. I think they're gonna have to throw it over the middle, like Hayden Hurst and Calvin Ridley. You're gonna have to throw it over the middle because those linebackers are probably their weakness. You don't want to go throw it even. Don't if you run it, try to run it away from Tyrann Mathieu or even Chris Jones. But if they put them on opposite sides, you probably want to go to Tyrann Mathieu's side. Tyrann Mathieu is a top 10 safety in the NFL. Maybe 7, maybe even 5 if you really think he's that good. 5 maybe, but yeah, that defense is really tough to play against. But Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. Calvin Ridley's a top 20 receiver. I don't want to say he's top 10 because I like there's a couple receivers who a lot of people think that he's a lot better than, but the truth is I don't think so. Calvin really great receiver though. I think they got to do that. Todd Gurley or Brian or either Smith, whoever's in the backfield for them has to play at their top game. And then for the Chiefs, I mean Falcons defense, they don't have a hope because their defense is so bad. I think they gotta put pressure on. I think they gotta contain Mahomes. Make sure Grady Jarrett's ready. If they run the ball, which they're going to do, because if they pass it every time, they'll be ready. So I think I think Grady Jarrett needs to be ready, and I think if they get in the right spots and the right schemes, which I hope they do. David Morris, forgot his name. I don't think it's David Morris, but whatever. Morris, I don't. That's his last name. Should in the defensive corner, he should probably switch some things up and make some schemes. So Grady Jarrett can shine and blow up the running game for the Chiefs. And then Deion Jones, of course, they have to make sure. I think he can pick off Mahomes if he's in the right spot at the right time. So if they do that, and then who should they have on? Okay, so AJ Terrell, I think I'd have Sherfield since he can fly. Have him with Mahill, which is gonna be really tough. And then Deion Jones should be on Kelsey, that too. But what I really think is Sheffield, whatever. Yeah, Kendall Sheffield or Sheffield, I think he can fly, and if he's right, if he can probably keep up with Hill, if him and Tyreek are together, he can keep up with him, but you probably want to have KZ or Keanu Neal with them, who's a really good safety to be there with Hill so he doesn't break free for a huge gain. And Mahomes, he's gonna make some huge plays, but try to keep him contained in the pocket, which I think he's still gonna be excel at too because the receivers can get open. But you can't let him get running loose because then that's where he's most dangerous. So yeah, those are the keys for the Chiefs, and then their defense. What is the Chiefs? Oh, yeah, I already talked about Chiefs defense. No, never mind. Chiefs defense. Chandler Jones. I mean, Chris Jones. You need to let Chris Jones do his thing, and the linebackers have to play good because if they don't, it's gonna really hurt them. And then what else? Oh yeah, Tyrann Mathieu. He's probably you want him to probably be on Calvin Ridley a little more, and I think Travarius Ward you want to put in the slot, or Breland, or Fenton. Any of those three guys, whatever one the Chiefs think is having a good week, it is ready for the game. Put them in to play on Hayden Hurst because they're gonna have to throw it to him if they want to get stuff going. And then Jags Bears. This is a tough one. Bears offense. Run the ball, run the ball away from Josh Allen and Miles Jack. If they put them on opposite sides, well, too hard luck. They gotta run the ball. I think Trubisky. I think you gotta do a little more play action with him. If they do that, he might do okay, but it's like their offense is really bad. If Trubisky just gets it, if they run it with Montgomery and Cohen, maybe a little. But if they run it with Montgomery, I think he can really have success. And then Robinson, of course, throw it to him because he's a big playmaker, and probably Miller and Mooney too. And get it to Graham for those short gains, like checkdowns, because that's going to really help Trubisky get his confidence level up, like getting completions, and then probably if you take a deep shot and it comes out on the right side, it's going to really boost Trubisky's confidence. And then, of course, we have their defense. They got to just play their defense. Like Akeem Hicks, I don't know if he's actually in, but whatever. Khalil Mack, their whole defense just has to play like they have been normally. Maybe get a little more pressure on Minshew, but if they play their normal, then they'll be fine. Jags, their offense has to, I don't know if they're going to be able to protect him, but they got to run it with Robinson. They got to go outside. It's going to be tough because they're going to probably put some contains on Robinson. But Robinson's your biggest playmaker, and just get it out to the wide receivers. Make quick throws with Minshew. Minshew can really make plays when he has to, but I don't think you want him to do that because then it can get really bad. On defense, put your pressure on Trubisky and really make the coverages confusing, and probably you want to disguise them. So it's hard for Trubisky to make the right reads, and if he makes the wrong reads, unless it's play action, but they're going to do a lot of that. So unless it's a play action and he actually has to make a read, if he doesn't have to make a read, get on it fast and make sure, and then just boost his confidence less because he gets worse if you boost your confidence level down. But I think the Jags want to lose anyway, so I think they should I think they probably want to lose to get Trevor Lawrence because they have the number one pick. That too. So Jags, I think those are the keys for the Jags, but I don't know if they're gonna matter because the Jags want Trevor Lawrence just like any other team does. That's awful, like the Jets. And they should just honestly, I wouldn't say they're gonna lose on purpose because no team does that, but they already have a win in their belt. That was they're on a 13-game losing streak. Either way, though, they're probably they're gonna try to lose. I'm actually gonna predict the Bears right away. But Bengals, okay. I think they had a really big win last week. I was really surprised, but this is a really bad game if you ask me. So throwing, they're gonna have to hand it to Bernard. Bernard is gonna have to have a big game, and then they have no literally. I don't know if they're gonna have any talent this week. This is just gonna be like an A game for the Bengals on offense, but they gotta run the ball they gotta run it in a way where their offensive linemen Bobby Hart, all these ragtag guys. I don't think you want them being shown their weakness. So if they do that, it's gonna be okay. And if the offensive linemen, even though they all stink, well, Trey Hopkins is okay, but they gotta really just press. They gotta really be really physical so they can get Bernard some room to run. And he's a pretty good running back. And Finley, I think they should probably want him to utilize his legs. That would really help. And of course, probably want to stay away from J.J. Watt on offense. Get the ball out quick with Finley. Probably not going to have much of a passing game. I think flats to Drew Sample and other receivers, or even the running back, and sometimes in empty sets, would really be good. And, of course, Finley, he got his first win. He's really happy. So that's good. And then, defensively, Deshaun Watson, the receivers are gonna stink. Their O line's gonna stink. If they put pressure on Watson, he's probably gonna break it. Just literally make Deshaun Watson, make it really hard for Deshaun Watson to just like succeed basically, which a lot of teams have done. Like he succeeded anyway because he's such a good quarterback. But like just make it as hard like all the other teams have done. Make it hard for him to do anything because like his all the talent is just awful. And then yeah, that's just for the defense. And then of course you want Jesse Bates and Geno Atkins, even if he's actually playing. You want Jesse Bates to really be able to do some stuff because he is their best defense player right now. I'm just saying. And DJ Reader, you want him to have a game. Like if they even run the ball at all, he has to be there to make some stops. And then Watson in the offense, they have to probably run the ball over to Tunsil's side. Like actually just keep pounding it on Tunsil's side with Fells. Because that's their only good part of their offensive line that isn't awful. And then the receivers, you probably want Brandon Cooks is their only decent receiver I've seen who hasn't stunk. Like Kenny Stills has been okay, but he hasn't really gotten a chance to do much, or when he was actually playing. Kiki Cucci is not a good receiver. Randall Cobb's been awful, and well, Kiki Cucci's he's not good. You gotta get Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks really needs to have a big game if they want to win this. And then on defense, it's kind of hopeless. Just get JJ Watt needs to have a couple sacks, like big sacks, and they need to force some turnovers. Justin Reed needs to have a couple turnovers. Cornerbacks are hopeless. They're not going to be able to guard whoever the receivers are, but all those guys stink. Like the cornerback matchup is going to be really bad this week too. And yeah, that's what the defense needs to get. Force turnovers and let JJ Watt ball out. Giants offense, it's probably gonna be Colt McCoy again. I don't know, whatever. Even if it's not Colt McCoy, their offense is basically hopeless. They're gonna have to run the ball a couple times, but keep it away. You probably want to target Evan Ingram 5 out of. If you had 5 passing play, out of the 3 downs, you probably want to run first down, but you probably want to throw it to Evan Ingram because he's gotten better at tight end. He had a really rough start to the season, but he's starting to get back up on his feet. And if he does that, then that's gonna be really good because that's their only receiving weapon. And because their wide receivers can probably be shut down unless they run some like off coverage or something. They gotta throw a quick curl. So they gotta have a quick offense. And then on defense, get pressure on Lamar, contain him, very much contain Lamar. And they're pretty predictable, so I think their defense is going to be able, unless they don't execute it right, I think they're going to have a good idea of what to do. And then, of course, you got to guard Hollywood, and of course, you got to cover their 2 tight ends. I don't know if Boyle's going to be in there, but Mark Andrews especially, they got to put probably Blake Martinez, maybe even, no, not Bradbury. You got to put another guy, maybe Logan Ryan, on Mark Andrews so he can't make any big plays. And then, of course, Lamar Jackson's going to be really tough. He's going to get some running yards, just like the other guys. Leonard Williams needs to make some big plays if they're going to win this game. I'm just saying. Same with Blake Martinez. And then on the Ravens offense, stay away from Leonard Williams at all costs because if you don't, he could blow a couple plays up. Let Lamar run. Just let him run. And then, what else? Oh, yeah. Get the ball to probably Marquise Brown. Get him some catches. Then he'll get into his zone, and then he could be good. Mark Andrews, get him the ball because he's probably your best receiver. And then defensively, pressure on whoever the heck their quarterback is. Cornerbacks probably want to have some tips, maybe a couple interceptions. If we want to force turnovers, I would really just put a deflate in that offense. And then, what else? Oh, yeah, their safeties have to really, like, Deshaun Elliott's played pretty decent this year. Chuck Clark's played okay. He's always been okay. But they just got to probably stop the run if they comes down there. They got to be ready for that because the runs are probably going to be stopped there. Like, I don't know if Calais Campbell's playing. But their D-line and their linebackers are going to take care of it. But if it somehow gets past the front 7, they're going to have to be ready. Because if they get bored back there, it's going to be like what the commentators say, get caught napping, and it's going to be bad. Browns, Jets. This is a weird game, honestly. I think it's a really weird game. So for the Browns, their offense, you probably want Nick Chubb. The Browns offense, Nick Chubb, just run the ball, please. Run the ball. And then don't get it away from Quinnen Williams. Their offensive line is very good. So I think they can Joe Bitonio you want to have on Quinnen Williams. Maybe someone else. But hand it off to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And then probably you want to have some little bit play action there. Let Baker do his thing. Get some confidence on him. And yeah. And then for defensively, Myles Garrett, kill Sam Darnold, basically. That's all I have to say. I'm just joking. Denzel Ward might be playing. Either way. Their receivers aren't too good. We saw that against the Rams. The Jets have a ton of fire, and I don't know if they're not probably not gonna have the number one overall draft pick. They might, but I don't know if they are. So in that fact, they probably are gonna really try to play hard. So the Browns' defense is to really watch their running backs out of the backfield. That's how they got all their plays, all their all Sam Darnold's throws were against the Rams. So a lot of them were like that out of the backfield. So if they do that, they're gonna be fine. So their linebackers, Logan Wilson, B.J. Goodson, all these okay guys. Sione Taki, get on those running backs out of the backfield. That check down, that's what's really helping. Jets, same, like I'm just saying, you gotta throw to the running backs. It worked last week. You gotta just trickle them out, like sneak them out, like they're not there. And then probably want to throw to Landry a couple times. Definitely throw it to Austin Hooper and David Njoku. And then probably Donovan Peoples-Jones, because he's really had a good he's had a couple of really good catches this season. So I think that should be good for them too. Wait, I already talked about their offense. Never mind. Oh wait, I'm talking about that you probably want to get Chris Herndon out of the backfield. Sorry, and Frank Gore. Get Frank Gore the ball. Like, give him the ball. He wants to be out there. He's like, I'm not going 0-16. But he proved it now, because if you keep, he's got that heart, and if he keeps showing it and he keeps performing, just keep handing the ball off to him. Defensively, stack the box and make sure you don't get beat deep, because if you, like Marcus May is your best player. Saying it right now, Marcus May is your best player. No, second. Well, probably your best player. Marcus May, he's gonna be a playmaker. Same with Quinton Williams. Just stack the box and let Marcus May play deep and make sure there's no deep shots or any of that stuff. And then linebackers have to play pretty good, which is going to be tough. But like Hewitt, he should be okay. The Jets probably aren't going to win this, but they might. They have a chance because they beat the Rams last week. Anything can happen in the NFL. And then Panthers, this is tough. Panthers offense, get the ball out so quick so Teddy Bridgewater doesn't get killed. They're not going to have a running game. Probably want to get some checkdowns to the running backs because that linebacking core isn't too great. And then their track team of receiving core is they're gonna have to get the ball just to them. If McCaffrey's in, is McCaffrey in? Is he gonna be back? Okay, so Christian McCaffrey isn't playing, so you're probably not gonna run the ball too much. Don't, because it's not gonna work. And of course, get the ball out quick. Get it to your track team, because if you do, those cornerbacks are gonna get roasted. Not Kendall Fuller, probably not Landon Collins or Troy Apke, but get that ball out quick and make sure it's to your probably Curtis Samuel or Robbie Anderson. Any of those guys are fast as heck. Get up to the fast guys. Ruggs go fast. Not, of course, just reference. Defensively, I think Haskins is gonna start. Well, Haskins if Alex Smith is starting, which I don't know if he is. Say Dwayne Haskins is starting. Make him feel pain. Which I mean by that is sack him. Which they can do. I think they can do that. Their defense is awful, but maybe they can do that. And then cornerbacks, Dante Jackson, speedster. He's going to be on McLaurin. I don't think he's going to get the best of him at all in any case because Haskins, I don't know if he has to just get it, throw it to McLaurin. Throw it to McLaurin. If Gibson is back, he might not be. You give it to Gibson, he's probably going to have a lot of yards. But that's the thing. They got to stay. Dante Jackson has to stay in McLaurin. And they have to shut down the run game, which is going to be tough. But I think they could do it with Jack Thompson and Whitehead. Taylor Whitehead thinks so. And then I'm basically saying Haskins, or if it's Alex Smith, you can do a couple more. So probably want to get to Logan Thomas if you have Alex Smith. Haskins, you always want to get it to your Logan Thomas and Jeremy Smith, whoever the tight end is. Make him feel like he's comfortable, and then of course, make sure he's comfortable. And then Terry McLaurin's probably going to be the best offensive player in this game. Get it to make sure Terry McLaurin gets the ball, because if he doesn't, he's probably gonna. I don't know if he can get mad. I can win the game that way. And then just give it to Gibson if he's there. If he's not there, then yeah, well, whatever. You can throw it to McKissick. And then maybe hand out to Payne Barber, who isn't that good, but either way, just do that. Defense plays defense. Probably want to bring a little more pressure, because they keep bringing pressure. This offense is going to be in their pants. It's going to be ugly, like very ugly. So they just do that. They're fine, because they're a top 5 defense in the NFL, as you can see. This team's kind of bringing me back kind of 85 Bears feel, except not really. And Broncos, Drew Lock needs to be comfortable. Let him climb the pocket. If he was starting to get used to that against the Bills last week. If he can do that, and then probably want to hand it off to Gordon and Lindsey. Probably more Gordon though, because he's played better. And then get it to Jerry Jeudy and Jerry Jeudy and Noah Fant, because they've really been your only playmakers in the passing game. Maybe a little Melvin Gordon, but either way, you want to keep Drew Lock comfortable and consistent in the passing game, and of course run it. Defensively, it's kind of tough, but if the Chargers get in the red zone, which they should actually. They gotta play Broncos defense, force them to field goals. If they force them to field goals, if their offense plays like the way I'm telling them to, then they might actually be able to. It might be like a field goal touchdown. So there's a big difference between those two. So yeah, Chargers offense, ball out, I guess, because their offense has been phenomenal with their superstar quarterback in Justin Herbert. The rookie's trying to break the touchdown record. I think he's going to. If he doesn't, then well, he might not. But either way, it's gonna be good. So yeah, just let Justin Herbert do his thing. Maybe run the ball a little more. It's probably gonna keep him a lot off balance. And then defensively for the Chargers, I don't know what to say, but put pressure on Drew Lock and play decent coverage. If you don't, you gotta play better coverage than you have. You put guys gotten a little lazy. If you play better coverage, Casey Hayward bounces back. You guys are gonna have a good game, and you guys should win it. For the Chargers, Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Let Jalen Hurts play consistent. All he needs to do is be a game manager. Let Jalen Hurts run, because that's part of his game. Hand it to Sanders, throw it to Sanders, and throw it to Rager, throw it to Ertz, throw it to Goddard. So basically anyone who isn't a receiver besides Jalen Rager, throw it to, because it's starting to work. Offense line's been awful, but Miles Sanders has started to Jordan Mailata has been awesome. I gotta admit that. But if Sanders does this magic, it's gonna work. And against this awful Cowboys defense, I think it could help in the running game. And then awful run defense of the Cowboys. And then for the Eagles defense, I gotta just say, this offense, if you put pressure on Andy Dalton, make him uncomfortable when he can't really do anything, it's gonna be pretty awful. So yeah, that is basically what they're gonna have to do for them. And Darius Slay might have to have a pick. They're gonna have to force turnovers too. Cowboys offense, get it to Amari Cooper, run the ball with Zeke. If he's not starting, do the same with Pollard. Offensive line starting to get a little better. It's still not too good though. And yeah, and then their defense has to. I don't know what to say. Their defense is straight up awful. Maybe just try to play simple, basic football. Give up 20 points is better than giving up 40 like they do every week. So just try to play simple and basic. Don't try to overcomplicate things, because then that's when it gets all bad. Now let's go on to my favorite team, Rams. We're playing the Seahawks. Okay, this is tough. Run the ball and make sure it's effective, because if it isn't effective, it's going to be bad. So we got to make sure it's effective and physical. We just got smacked in the face by the Jets last week. But the Rams have to play physical and hard. The running game has to work, and it has to be really good. And then, of course, Jared Goff needs to be a lot better, and he has to be a lot more comfortable in the pocket. Throw it quick, because don't throw it as quick, but you want to take a couple shots and just get that play action game and the running game going. Because once it works, the offense gets really good, like really, really good. Like they're off the training wheels and they're gone. But the pass rush has really gotten better for the Seahawks. That's my only worry. But I think their offense could do pretty good. And if Jared Goff will probably pile up the passing yards if Sean McVay does the right things in the schemes Blocking schemes are going to be huge. Getting it away from Carlos Dunlap. It's going to really happen. Of course, Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams, I think, can be solved. It can be solved if we put like a lineman. If he's going to blitz, Jared Goff has to recognize that. So that happens a lot worse. So it doesn't happen as worse as it could. So we won't be getting to Jared Goff and killing him. Jared Goff, Mike 30, whatever. And you make sure that happens. And then defensively, put pressure on Wilson, sack him like you did before. DK Metcalf has to be shut down by Jalen Ramsey, which might happen. And then safeties have to play really good. Same, like, their defense has to just get back in rhythm. And and the secondary gets back in rhythm, it's going to be good. Linebackers, they have to really just play sound and no dumb communications. And if Wilson gets out to the pocket, just get to him. Unless you have a man to cover, get to Wilson. Like, sack him. You swarm to the ball and get to the ball. That's what they have to do, which they've done really well this year. Offense, let West Coco Force. You gotta let him do that. Get the ball to DK Metcalf. Get the ball to DK Metcalf. Run the ball against the Rams defense. Really test them. And if it gets blown up, we'll just go to let Russ cook. And then defensively, it's gonna be pretty hard to not give up the piling of yardage. Keep Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams in different spots, so the blocking schemes don't work as effectively as they can. And then of course just bring that pressure on Jared Goff because he stinks if he's under pressure. I'm just saying that in my own opinion. So that's the game. And then Titans run the ball with Henry, kill the Packers run defense, and they haven't forced any turnovers this season. So don't be worried if you want to take a shot because they've just been bad with turnovers this season. So yeah, that. And then their defense, Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what to say because they've been really, really bad, I'd say, because they've been inconsistent. They can't stop anything. They gotta stop. If they just double Devontae Adams the whole game and make sure Marcus Valdes-Scantling doesn't sprint out the middle and Robert Tonyan doesn't get any, doesn't make any big plays. And just doesn't let Rodgers do anything amazing. I think they can probably do decent on defense. It's going to be really tough because their defense is just bad. And Aaron Jones stopping isn't going to happen. I can just say that. And then Packers offense, just play Packers offense. Probably want to hand the ball off to Aaron Jones a couple more times. Let him get the ball, and if he does, then you guys are going to really be contributing. It's going to really help. Defensively, let me think. Let's think. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's going to be tough to stop that Derrick Henry. Kenny Clark is going to have to have big games. Darius Smith, same. Put pressure on Tannehill. But you guys, I don't know if you guys will force any turnovers. So, you probably if they get warned, they just got to probably try to force turnovers and just stack the box on Henry. And